When I returned to high school, I accidentally bumped into Ethan's chest. Ethan, still a playboy back then, teased. I prefer curvy, long-legged beauties. A beanpole like you doesn't stand a chance. I nodded calmly. You're blocking me from reaching Liam. Later, when rumors spread about Liam and me dating, Ethan cornered me against the wall, threatening, Ivy, if you dare date him, I'll break your legs. When Liam finally confessed in college, the self-proclaimed boobs enthusiast carried me away, whispering against my lips, Sweetheart, want to try your husband's 20-year-old body? My hands instinctively clutched Ethan's shirt as memories flooded back. Before I could steady myself, his mocking voice sounded above me. Since when did you learn to throw yourself at me, Ivy? His peach blossom eyes sparkled with mischief, that achingly familiar face still stealing my breath after countless viewings. Ethan, my husband, or rather, my husband from the previous life. Not letting go? That obsessed? His gaze swept over me. Too bad I prefer voluptuous women. Scrawny twigs like you. The familiar dismissal stung. Our year-long marriage had remained unconsummated for this very reason. I released his shirt and stepped back. You're blocking my path to Liam. He grabbed my backpack as I tried to leave. School's over. Why chase some nerd instead of coming home with me? None of your business. I yanked my bag back. Feisty today? His arms snaked around my waist, forcing me into his car despite my protests. Get away! I shoved him, face burning. Ethan leaned closer, tracing my jaw. What's with the pufferfish act? I turned to the window, remembering the busty women from our past life sneering. Could this flatboard even arouse Mr. Taylor? Their exposed love bites haunted me. Ever seen him wild in bed? Nausea rose. Our marriage began as a drunken joke between the Clark and Taylor families. After my parents' death, the Taylors took me in. Mr. Taylor's ironclad honor forced Ethan to marry me post-graduation. I hadn't objected. Ethan's beauty satisfied my aesthetic cravings, a living sculpture to admire, if not love. I thought I could ignore Ethan's philandering, but reality proved me wrong. What's worse? I clearly realized that deep down, I actually liked him. The realization that I had feelings for a player like him was unbearable. So I immediately filed for divorce from Ethan and moved out of the Clark residence. As my car drifted aimlessly down the road, the collision came without warning. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in high school. Ethan's taunt about me being a string bean stabbed at my insecurities all over again. Being premature and sickly since childhood had left me physically underdeveloped compared to my peers. Even 3 years of privileged upbringing with the Clarks hadn't closed that gap. All right. My bad. Drink your milk and calm down. Ethan shoved a milk carton into my hands with that infuriating baby talk tone. I nearly smashed it against his smug face. Whether it was 16-year-old Ethan or the 22-year-old version I'd married, he remained equally insufferable. He kept pestering me while twisting a lock of my hair around his finger until I finally kicked him across the car seat. When he suddenly told the driver to pull over, I followed his gaze to the sidewalk. Need a ride, goddess? Ethan whistled at Sophia leaning against her guitar case. All leather skirts and rocker chic confidence. The university campus queen didn't notice me in the backseat as she reached for the door. Shotguns free. Ethan jerked his chin toward the front. My kid sister's throwing a tantrum. Sophia's polite nod to me faded as Ethan spent the entire ride gushing about her edgy braids and killer outfit. She invited us to her band's gig at a lounge that night. I tried declining with homework excuses, but Ethan manhandled me inside anyway. All work and no play makes Ivy a dull girl, he mocked, easily overpowering my resistance. After Sophia left to prepare backstage, the atmosphere shifted when her band took over. Their raw energy electrified the room, Sophia's guitar riffs commanding the spotlight. When a girl rocks that hard, Guys might as well not even exist. Eyes popping out there. Ethan waved his hand in front of my mesmerized face. She's that good? Damn right. I swatted him away, cheering louder. Am I hotter though? His smirk deserved the eye roll I gave him. Some things never change. Ethan clicked his tongue and shook his head. Such provincial thinking. Let me show you what real cool looks like. As the stage performance concluded, he strode up and exchanged whispers with the drummer before taking over the kit. Under the spotlights, he winked at me as if saying, "Watch this." With roguish charisma, he ignited the crowd through pounding rhythms until audience members began screaming and snapping photos. That drummer's insanely hot. Even Sophia watched with appreciative eyes. Walking backward ahead of me when leaving, Ethan wore smug satisfaction. Well, I outclass those professional musicians. Don't I? With this face, I'd dominate Hollywood's A-list overnight. Ethan! Sophia emerged breathlessly. He paused, peach blossom eyes crinkling. What's up? She approached hesitantly, glancing at me. You talk. I'll wait in the car, I offered. From the vehicle, I watched their silhouettes under amber streetlights. Sophia tucked wind-tousled hair behind her ear, fists clenched before rising on tiptoes to kiss Ethan's cheek. My pupils dilated as invisible fingers squeezed my heart. Ethan suddenly looked toward the car. Though he couldn't see me, I averted my gaze like a thief. Returning, Ethan casually wiped his cheek. You didn't see anything back there, right? Nothing. He exhaled, ruffling my hair. Still sulking about my bean sprout joke? I shrugged off his hand silently. After picking at dinner, I retreated to my room. Math problems swam before my eyes until I surrendered to bed. Feverish dreams bombarded me with fragmented memories until phantom flames scorched my bones. In delirium, Ethan's face warped grotesquely. When his arms reached for me, I scratched at the apparition while sobbing. Hush now, sweetheart. The hallucination murmured, restraining my hands. Let's get you to the hospital. I awoke in Ethan's arms, every muscle aching. He sat behind me, trimming my nails. His cheek bore fresh scratches. Ethan, be my brother? His palm touched my forehead. Silly. Haven't I always been? The void in my chest filled with sudden safety. Maybe we'd been wrong before. Kinship suited us better than romance. My finger hovered over his injuries. Did I? He propped me up, opening a thermos. Who else would dare? As he fed me rice porridge, I reached for the spoon but he pulled it back. Apologies. I mumbled. Save it. He teased, the fading scratches glowing like badges beneath the lamplight. Stop squirming. You're basically my responsibility now. The old man found out I wasn't taking proper care of you. He practically wanted to crawl through the phone to throttle me. No clue how he's getting intel all the way from overseas. There's definitely a traitor in this household bold enough to snitch on me, listening to his rant. I stifled a laugh. Getting the second chance at life really was a gift. This time, I'd carve out my own happiness. After recovering from my illness, I dove headfirst into studying. I also started religiously drinking protein shakes, eating balanced meals, and hitting the gym daily. With this routine, I'd definitely develop better than in my past life. When Ethan noticed I'd signed up for yoga at the rec center, he enrolled in basketball, even though he'd normally be gaming nonstop after school. I tried reasoning with him, you don't have to tag along just for my sake. I'm fine on my own. He shot me a sidelong glance. Who said it's for you? I just felt like shooting hoops. Shrugging, I left it alone. An hour later, I stumbled out of the yoga studio clinging to the wall. The moment I exited, Ethan grabbed my arm. What's wrong with your legs? Charlie horse. I groaned. He crouched in front of me with a sigh. Ivy, what would you even do without me? Hop on. I'll carry you back. I'll just walk slower. Before I could finish, he hooked an arm behind my knees and hoisted me up. Hold tight unless you want to eat pavement. Ethan. Put me down. He pretended to toss me, making me choke hold his neck in panic. His laughter boomed. That shut you up, didn't it? Fuming, I pinched his cheek hard. He retaliated by sprinting like a madman. Slow down. I'm scared. Say something nice then. Ethan's the greatest guy alive. No. Wait, Ethan's the most insufferable tyrant. That's exactly what I thought when he accused me of dating too young. It started after a pop quiz last week. Horrified by my dismal score, I approached Liam, the academic prodigy from the next class, for tutoring. Everyone knew he was brilliant, patient, and explained concepts better than teachers. We'd worked together before, so this felt routine. But when Liam flipped through my test, he gave me a weird look. Did you bomb this on purpose? You used to grasp this material. I forced a laugh. How could I explain that I hadn't touched high school math in years? What if I told you I forgot everything after a nap? He didn't bite. Just started dissecting problems. This went on for a week. To thank him, I'd bring snacks until the rumors started. Whispers claimed I was faking incompetence to flirt with Liam. Someone even posted misleading photos on the school forum. A shot of me leaning toward his ear looked like a kiss. Me resting near his chair became a cozy shoulder cuddle. I was clueless about the forum drama when Ethan stormed in. He yanked me from Liam's side, grip bruising my wrist. Ethan, what's your problem? He dragged me out like a feral animal. My struggles useless against his strength. After being forcibly dragged out of the classroom, Ethan cornered me in an empty room, caging me between his arms against the wall. He growled, Ivy, how dare you think about puppy love at your age? I'm not dating anyone. Then why were you clinging all over that guy? Kissing his cheek this time, what's next? His mouth? His voice rose with every accusation. Tears spilled over as I shouted back. I told you it's not like that. Stop making things up. The frustration of never being doubted like this before made my throat tighten. Knox interrupted us. Ivy? Are you okay? Liam's concerned voice filtered through the door. Ethan's temper flared hotter. You're forbidden from seeing him again. Understood? My friendships are none of your business. I shoved at his chest. Stop controlling my life. Say that again. His fist slammed into the doorframe, making me flinch. Tears blurred my vision as I glared up at him. Listen well, Ivy. He loomed closer. If I catch you dating before college, I'll break both your legs myself. The opposite classroom door burst open as Liam charged in. Let her go. Stay out of family matters. Pretty boy. Ethan sneered, not budging an inch. I finally broke free with a hard push. I'm not your property. Get lost. Fine. Ethan straightened with icy calm. If I can't discipline you, we'll find someone who can. 2 hours later, the principal's office swarmed with adults, Mrs. Taylor, the Johnsons, and half the school gossiping outside. My cheeks burned hotter with every passing minute. In my previous life, I'd never been called to the office. Now I was starring in this humiliating soap opera while Ethan leaned against the wall, arms crossed, enjoying the show. After endless questioning, the truth emerged. A classmate confessed to posting misleading photos of Liam helping me with homework. Though apologies were made, Ethan suddenly grabbed the offender's collar. You brainless paparazzi wannabe. His knuckles whitened. Who said you could, Ethan? Mrs. Taylor's sharp command froze him mid-threat. Apologize to Ivy. Now. He shuffled toward me, jaw clenched. Sorry for doubting you. The mumbled apology barely escaped before he added. But you shouldn't be hugging guys like that. I was reaching for the nearest textbook to smack him when Mrs. Taylor's palm connected with his head. Says the boy who flirts with half the cheer squad. Ivy's allowed normal friendships. When Ethan opened his mouth to protest, his mother cut him off. One more word and I'm freezing your cards. But I need to buy her. His mother died under Mrs. Taylor's glare. The Taylor matriarch then warmly invited Liam to visit their estate, earning dramatic eye-rolling from Ethan. After finalizing disciplinary actions, Mrs. Taylor rushed back to her corporate meetings. At dismissal, Ethan tried pulling me toward his car. I shook him off. No physical contact between genders. Remember? His eye twitched as he suppressed the urge to flick my forehead. When he opened the backseat door, I deliberately climbed into the front passenger side. During dinner, I claimed the farthest seat from him at our 6-foot table. Stop following me, I warned as he started moving closer. Ethan collapsed back into his chair, grumbling about ungrateful brats through a mouthful of mashed potatoes. The silverware clattered louder than necessary as we ate in seething silence. The grandfather clock ticking away our Cold War. Ethan stormed off without finishing dinner, slinking back to his room. As I was about to sleep, someone knocked. Opening the door revealed Ethan holding a glass of warm milk. Ivy, he pleaded, blocking the door with his foot. Stop giving me the silent treatment. My breath caught at the childhood nickname only my late parents used. After their deaths, I'd withdrawn into myself, crying silently every night in the Taylor mansion until I'd get feverish. Back then, Ethan would coax me to take medicine with that same endearment, acting like the perfect big brother. Relenting, I took the milk. Just this once. His eyes lit up. I'll always trust you from now on. True to his word. The spoiled heir woke early next morning to squeeze toothpaste onto my brush. He then sat me before the vanity with theatrical secrecy. Let me style your hair. You're insane. I laughed. Lack of faith. He produced pearl-embellished hair ties, expertly weaving braids along my temples. The mirror reflected my stunned face, giving him a thumbs up. Classic Ethan, going all out to impress girls. No wonder flocks of admirers overlooked his player reputation. With slightly more sincerity, he'd be Prince Charming incarnate. That weekend, Liam arrived. Ethan's face darkened. Can't take a hint. Genius? Actually, Liam adjusted his glasses. Mrs. Taylor hired me as Ivy's tutor through graduation. Since when does this house need tutors? Ethan scoffed. His mother descended the staircase. Unlike you, Liam finished high school curriculum years ago. Isn't that right, Ivy? I nodded, remembering how Liam had casually mastered college-level physics during lunch breaks in our past life. Get rid of him, Ethan demanded. This doesn't concern you. Mrs. Taylor sipped her coffee. Go play with your layabout friends. Am I even your real son? I often wonder the same. His mother's dry retort made me stifle laughter as Ethan spluttered indignantly. After greeting Mrs. Taylor, I called Liam upstairs to the study. The moment we closed the door, Ethan barged in, inexplicably demanding to join our study session. Liam and I exchanged glances, dismissing it as his latest short-lived enthusiasm. He wedged himself between us and declared his learning method requiring Liam to explain difficult concepts to him first. Then he'd personally reteach me. This ensures thorough understanding, he claimed. I slumped over the desk groaning. Ethan, by the time you figure it out, the ship would have sailed. Who do you think you're looking down on? I'm not stupid, just unmotivated. Yet Ethan proved astonishingly quick-witted, mastering concepts with alarming ease. Watching him explain calculus problems felt surreal, like seeing the world flip upside down. Pay attention. His pen tapped my head sharply. Being lectured by the former slacker left me torn between laughter and tears. Liam caught my exasperated look. his eyes twinkling with silent amusement. What are you staring at? Focus on the problem, Ethan snapped, leaning across the desk to block our eye contact. A month later, Ethan still attended every study session, telling his astonished friends he was busy tutoring. Their jaws nearly dropped when they heard. Time flew until graduation. Ethan's academic leap seemed miraculous. Hard to believe he'd needed family donations and athletic scholarships to attend college in previous years. My 18th birthday arrived shortly after exams. The Taylors threw me a simple, warm birthday party with close friends. Everything mirrored past memories except Liam's presence. As guests departed, Liam lingered last. "Happy birthday," he said, offering a small velvet box. "I hope you like it. I thought those textbooks were my gift." Lowered expectations make better surprises. His smile mirrored mine, his mere attendance being the real gift. The only planned yet unexpected delight. "Open it. I'll replace it if you hate it." What would the academic prodigy choose? I chuckled upon revealing the contents. Too tacky? Never. I grinned, holding the golden rabbit pendant. Who dislikes gold? Gold forms two ways, he began, eyes alight. From dying supergiant stars, or colliding neutron stars orbiting for eons before explosive final embrace. Their death throws scattered golden stardust across galaxies. Each collision occurs maybe once per 100,000 years. So gold, it's cosmic romance. I curled the necklace in my palm. Is this how STEM majors flirt with others? I'd just say gold holds its value. The air thickened with unspoken tension. "Ivy," he murmured. "Let's attend the same university." Clutching the pendant, I briefly pictured Ethan before banishing the thought. "Okay," I finally whispered. Returning upstairs, I collided with Ethan. You beam at his trinket but ignore my gift? Who matters more? His morning attempt to show me his present flashed through my mind, the gift I'd refused. Already knowing what it contained. The entire room was filled with princess dresses. I still remember in our past life when Ethan took me to see them, I was completely stunned. "Ethan, are you trying to start a clothing wholesale business?" He looked disappointed. "Don't you like them?" "I'm 18, not 8. I've long outgrown fairy tales." So when he suggested showing me gifts again in this lifetime, I refused, postponing it to another day. "Ivy, do you like him?" His sudden question snapped me back. "No." Ethan's eyes held unfathomable depth. "If you say no, I'll believe you." He shoved a black box into my hands. "Happy 18th birthday, Ivy." Watching his retreating figure, I opened the box to find a key and an address. Curiosity compelled me to investigate. 30 minutes later, I stood before an apartment door. The moment I entered, my mother's voice rang out, "My baby's home." Tears spilled as I stepped into the familiar space, every detail identical to my childhood home. Two waist-high cartoonish robots waddled toward me. My father's voice chuckled from their speakers, "Are girls 18 and still crying?" Laughing through tears, I followed them to the dining room filled with balloons, flowers, and timelines of my childhood photos. An unlit birthday cake sat on the table as projections began showing footage from my past celebrations up to age 8. In the video, my parents sang happy birthday. 8-year-old me closed my eyes to make a wish, only to squeal when Dad smeared frosting on my nose. "What did you wish for?" Mom asked. My childish voice answered, "I want to be Mommy and Daddy's forever princess with endless princess dresses." My breath caught, those blurred memories suddenly crystallized. I'd forgotten making that wish. Every birthday desire had come true except this one. Remembering the roomful of dresses Ethan gave me in our previous life, realization struck like thunder. He'd been fulfilling that forgotten childhood wish all along. The projections continued, animated versions of my parents appearing in the birthdays they'd missed. At the 18th birthday segment, animated Dad instructed, follow the petals to your gift. Tracing the floral path to the balcony, I pushed open the door to the adjacent apartment. Princess dresses flooded my vision, an exact replica of that past life moment. Except this time the connecting door actually opened. Guilt overwhelmed me. I dismissed his effort as thoughtless last time. I needed to find Ethan immediately, to tell him I finally understood. But he wasn't home. Calling his number. Sophia answered, "Ethan's drunk. Come get him." Rushing to the cocktail bar, I found him slumped over the counter. "Ethan, let's go home," I urged, tugging his arm. His glazed eyes met mine before he suddenly pulled me into a waist-cradling embrace. The intimate position made my pulse spike. I glanced nervously at Sophia, hastily prying his hands away. Ethan Taylor stared at me with bloodshot eyes. "I can't even get a hug." "Then what was all that clinging to me when you were sick?" I reached to cover his mouth, my head throbbing, desperate to stop any more suggestive comments. Turning to Sophia, I protested, "Don't listen to his nonsense." She shrugged calmly. "Oh, I knew all that already." "Knew?" I gaped, unsure whether to be more shocked by her nonchalance or the fact Ethan had shared everything with her. "He's clearly mentally deficient. Y'all should get his head examined." I opened my mouth to protest this personal attack when she continued, "He's the one who confessed and pursued me. Yet I always had to initiate dates, either asking me to teach him braiding techniques or help pick dresses. When I proposed dating, he refused, claiming no teenage romance to avoid corrupting you. Was this all some sick game?" Each word shattered my understanding. Hadn't Ethan been crazy about Sophia? I'd assumed they were already together. After wrestling the drunk Ethan into the car, he kept slurring, "Ivy's a heartless ingrate." I bit my tongue, choosing to humor the drunkard. When I tried adjusting his seatbelt, he slapped my hand away. "Go find your precious academic genius. Why bother with me when you only have eyes for him?" The moment I stopped fussing over him, those red-rimmed eyes turned watery. "Damn you, Ivy. Really ditching me? Haven't I treated you right? Worried you'd freeze in winter, suffocate in summer. Held you all night when you were sick, limbs numb but scared to let go. Gathered every damn thing you glanced at like some lovesick puppy. Spent years filling a room with princess dresses because you mentioned wanting one, only for you to ignore them. Now you're ditching me for some guy? I heard your plans to elope to be university with him. Don't shush me, if you dare." The Uber driver's awkward cough made me cringe, feeling like some heartless villain. Dragging Ethan back to the Taylor family mansion proved equally mortifying. He perched on the balcony railing, tears glittering dangerously. "If you leave with him, I'll jump. I mean it." Rubbing my temples, I hissed, "Ethan, stop this melodrama. Get down before you become tomorrow's gossip fodder." "Melodrama?" He laughed bitterly. "I'm already the joke. Playing guard dog against Liam for years, only for you two to flirt behind my back. Fine. I'll die and let you lovebirds." "Ethan, it's a 2-story drop. You'll just break legs." I grabbed his arm, but he shook me off, dramatically leaning backward. "Ethan!" My scream echoed as his weight yanked me over the railing. The world spun until strong arms locked around me mid-fall. Ethan's back absorbed the impact with a sickening crunch, his head bleeding onto the pavement. Ice flooded my veins. The hospital aftermath saw an unusually subdued Ethan enduring parental scolding without protest. When alone, I sighed, "Never knew you had such theatrical flair. Enjoy your suicide stunt?" The lump under hospital sheets pulled blankets over its head, embodying sheer mortification. I couldn't help but laugh again and pulled the blanket off him. "I went to see the gift you prepared for me last night. I really love it. Ethan, thank you for everything you've done. Did you actually like it? Not too childish?" "I did. I loved it." He hadn't just fulfilled a childhood wish, he'd also granted what 18-year-old me had desperately wanted. I'd once longed for my parents to witness me growing up. Ethan made me feel, in his own way, as though they'd truly been part of my journey. Never truly gone. Even more than the gift Liam gave you? Ethan stared at me intently. My heart skipped when our eyes met. That gaze was dangerously deceptive, just a simple look. Yet it felt like a confession of love. I glanced away and nodded. Will you still apply to be university? The answer might not be what he wanted to hear. I teased. If I do, will you jump off another building? He turned his face away, ignoring me. Thankfully, he didn't cause another scene when we later submitted our applications. But I never expected to receive 2B university admission letters. Seeing Ethan's name on one of them confirmed the mailman hadn't messed up. I stormed to him with the letter. You applied to be university too? As you see. He smiled, eyes crinkling. Why? You always wanted a university. What do you think? He stepped closer, forcing me backward until my shoulders hit the wall. He braced one arm beside my head, leaning in until his warm breath brushed my face. Ivy, why do you think? Heat flooded my cheeks. I tried to duck away. I don't know. His other arm blocked my escape, caging me between him and the wall. Haven't I made it obvious enough? I've made a fool of myself. Nearly died for you. Did you think I see you as a sister? Didn't you? I'm not your type anyway. I used to think my ideal type had to be some curvy, long-legged model. But standards are for people you don't love. The moment I fell for you, every rule shattered. Ivy, I love you. Only you. Panic surged, more disbelief than shock. Ethan, take this game to someone else. Stop joking, or we won't even be family anymore. This isn't a joke. I'm serious. But I don't love you. I can't. Because of the past life? He dropped the bombshell casually. My eyes widened. You came back too? When he nodded, bitterness overflowed. How dare you say you love me after remembering everything? Loving me meant chasing other women? Ethan, you disgust me. He wrapped his arms around me from behind, voice breaking. There was never anyone else. Only you. I never touched them, those rumors were lies. I didn't understand my feelings back then. Mistook obsession for sibling care. When my father pushed us to marry, I was happy, until I realized you didn't care, not about my scandals. Not whether I came home. I didn't dare touch you. Afraid you'd reject me. He explained the woman who'd confronted me, she drugged him. But he'd switched their glasses, letting her suffer her own scheme. Humiliated. She tried to sabotage us. And you believed her. You filed for divorce without even asking me. You have no idea, when I heard you say you wanted a divorce over the phone, it shattered me. Ivy, since we've been given this second chance, could you please give me another opportunity? I didn't answer Ethan because I couldn't bear to go through that again. From then on, I kept avoiding him, right up until the start of the new semester. At this out-of-state university, the only people I knew were Ethan and Liam. Since I was dodging Ethan, I ended up spending more time with Liam. But Liam was swamped too. The professors immediately took a liking to him and kept assigning him tasks. Even when we finally managed to hang out, Ethan would trail behind us like a shadow, giving me that puppy-eyed look as if I'd broken his heart. That day when Liam suggested catching a movie, I agreed. My enthusiasm plummeted when I saw his choice, some obscure sci-fi film about outer space that critics called deliberately obtuse. Not wanting to ruin his mood, I pretended to be interested. Halfway through the snooze fest, I slipped out to the restroom. The moment I exited, someone yanked me into a secluded corner and crushed me against them. I struggled as calloused fingers tilted my chin up, their furious kiss tasting like desperation and possession. You're mine. They growled against my lips. You've always been mine. Shoving Ethan away. I hissed. Have you lost your mind? His ragged breath warmed my neck as he buried his face there. I'm going insane with jealousy. Just let me hold you. Ivy. Please. He clung to me until the credits rolled. When Liam called, I tried pushing him off. Let go, Liam's looking for me. But Ethan dragged me back. Teeth scraping my throat before sucking hard enough to leave a damning mark. Tell him to walk home alone. He muttered darkly. By October, I was still debating whether to acknowledge Ethan's birthday when his call came. Ivy. He rasped between coughs. I feel awful. Could you check on me? 10 minutes later. I stood outside the apartment his father had bought for us, the one I'd refused to share. When he didn't answer the doorbell or phone, I used my emergency key. Ethan stood shirtless in the entryway, water droplets sliding down his freshly showered torso. You worried about me? He asked hoarsely. I averted my eyes. You didn't answer. I thought. Stay. He interrupted. Birthdays shouldn't be spent alone. The candlelit dinner he'd prepared was surprisingly elegant. The fruity cocktails went down smoothly but packed a punch. Between sips, I couldn't help noticing how his unbuttoned shirt gleamed in the firelight. Like what you see. Ethan's smirk turned dangerous as he guided my hand beneath his collar. Tell me the truth, and I'll let you touch wherever you want. Fine. I breathed. You look good. His laugh vibrated against my palm as he pressed it to his racing heartbeat. Then take what's yours. Ivy. Sweetheart. You do like me, don't you? His lips brushed against my ear as he whispered those intoxicating words. Our gazes locked. Warm breaths mingling in the thick, sultry air between us. Want to kiss me? Say you like me. I answered by crashing my lips against his. The next instant, control shifted as our heated kisses and ragged breathing echoed through the silent night. During a brief pause for air, Ethan murmured against my mouth. You're such a tease. Sweetheart. I woke the next morning to Mrs. Taylor's horrified shriek. Ethan! I'll break your legs. How dare you take Ivy to bed when she's barely out of college? Minutes later, Ethan knelt shirtless in the living room, his torso displaying evidence of our passion that made me want to vanish. What had I done to him last night? Was I that wild? Hiding behind a pillow, I listened to Mrs. Taylor's tirade while realizing I felt perfectly normal. Clearly Ethan hadn't taken advantage. If anything, the bondage marks on his wrists suggested. Memories flooded back, dim lighting. Me straddling him as Ethan smirked devilishly, handing me his tie. Say you love me, sweetheart, and I'm all yours. Tie me up if you're scared. Lock me away so I see only you. Like Eve tempted by the serpent, I'd whispered I love you. His triumphant laughter vibrated against my neck. I love you too, sweetheart. Now for your reward. Mrs. Taylor's voice snapped me back to reality. Ivy. We'll make Ethan take responsibility. Let's announce your engagement now and marry after graduation. I don't need him to dash. You have to take responsibility. Ethan interjected dramatically. You've ruined me. I'm traumatized, can't function with other women now. Maybe try men? I muttered. Ivy. Thus began Ethan's year-long wronged lover campaign, constantly offering himself up only to later demand commitment. Telling everyone he'd been seduced and abandoned. Sometimes he'd bring actual locks. Pleading chain me up if you love me. How can I prove I'm yours? Being practical. I eventually used one. The moment the lock clicked, Ethan beamed. I knew you cared. This piece shattered when Liam returned from studying abroad. Let me tattoo your name everywhere, Ethan begged. So everyone knows I'm yours. My toes curled imagining the spectacle. Instead, I slid a ring onto his finger. Mine. Ethan burst into tears. Fucking finally. I'll never let another female mosquito near me. When Liam invited me to dinner, Ethan coincidentally appeared, constantly twisting his new ring throughout the meal. As Liam presented a meteorite necklace, this celestial symbol should witness our future together, Ethan shoved it back. Keep your space rocks. Liam. Ivy's taken. The next second, Ethan hauled me over his shoulder. In the apartment bed, Ethan kissed me while undoing my clothes. Coaxing. Ivy. Want to try your husband's 20-year-old body? It'll definitely make you happy. This happiness lasted until the next morning. His hand gripped my waist as his gravelly voice whispered in my ear. Ivy. Your waist is so slender. I can't take anymore, get off. I sobbed. Ivy. Have some mercy. I've been abstaining since our past life. Ethan murmured. His unrestrained enthusiasm infuriated me. Afterward, I locked him out of the bedroom. You'll keep living like a monk.